and I'll never back down. In the middle of the ring is where I lay the smack down. Against all odds, I will always prevail. So when you step to me, it's like hell in a cell.
Greetings and salutations, this is Christopher Daniels. I'm talking to my main man Delzinski right now. Any video game show, any video game channel, any YouTube channel called Vintage Shizzle is indeed hashtag Daniels approved.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here. It's another We Talk weekend. And I'm joined by my partner in crime, Smack Talks. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing well, man. You been out celebrating?
No.
Didn't think so. Nobody has?
Nobody has. You're the one that said that, I'm a party pooper, but really, is anybody going to be celebrating that, Nikki Bella got the job done?
I don't think so. I think we're all siding with Adam Rose on this. Total party pooper.
Exactly. Well, actually, there probably was one, and that would be one John Cena.
I think so. I think he's the only person that would actually go to it.
Imagine that party, though. It must have been a cracking time.
It was amazing. Did you not see SmackDown?
What, you streamed it live?
I seen like the clips on SmackDown with the cake and 298 bottles of champagne. Totally gone to waste.
I'm talking about the after party, man, with John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Well, that'd be a whole different celebration, wouldn't it?
I don't want to know, actually, to be perfectly fair. It was. Let's be honest. It was a bit of a shitter, wasn't it? To be honest, it was pretty bad. That whole match. I mean, let's quickly talk about it before we go anywhere else. What was the point of it? Let's just say it. What was the point of it? It really didn't do anything. Bringing the match, which is going to be at Night of Champions, forward, just to have a screwy finish, which we've seen before, and we've also worked out that Brie Bella has no tits once again.
Just clearing that up.
Yes. So, what was the point?
There wasn't a point. It's just been a bad week for the Divas Revolution. There was no real point at all to actually bring that match forward and then have it go down the way it did. The only way to bring it forward and do that would be if Charlotte was to win it. And I think pretty much everyone was convinced she would.
I kind of just thought something's got to give, because you don't bring the match for that basis. All it's really done is just show again a kind of bitterness towards anything CM Punk related with AJ, and it just feels like that seems like why they wanted to get it out of the way, just to dust that off, and it just, I don't know, just felt a bit sour.
It did, and it was something that a lot of people actually tuned in for. And I know a lot of people actually stayed up to watch it just to see what happened. And then it was kind of like just a big letdown, because you got all them eyes watching to see what happens. And you go and use a finish from like Money in the Bank, what we've already seen. Yeah,
and thoroughly disappointing. Nobody wanted that finish, and it was almost like you got to have that big kind of payoff, which was, even if they just gone down the route of Charlotte nicking the belt and then it swapping back at Night of Champions, just anything to have derailed the reign.
Well, I thought it made like perfect sense to have the match end and Charlotte be the Divas Champion, and then for them to reverse the decision on SmackDown or Night of Champions. Yeah. So people left Raw thinking, Charlotte has won, Nikki hasn't beaten the reign, and then a couple of days later you find out Nikki has beaten it. It just would have made such a big talking point for people to be talking about. Makes everyone happy, and then obviously you've got the downer, but then it's only a couple of days later she's got the chance to win it back.
I've got a question for you, and this is just before we talk about what's on today's show, because we've already started with a bang, but the question for you is, why has WWE, I put this on Twitter as well, by the way, why has WWE gone with Nikki Bella over Brie Bella? And what, if you're Brie, would you really be thinking at the moment? There's not a lot of difference, let's be honest. They look similar. One's slightly enlarged than the other, if you catch my drift. And then, if we're looking anywhere else, skill-wise, are they really that much different in the ring? So, what gives?
Well, I would say there's two reasons.
Go on.
The first reason...
Yes.
...is obviously John Cena. The fact that she's dating him, that's the only reason she's beat this title reign.
No.
Because it's got to be. There's no other explanation for like pushing her this hard.
You can't say that. You're telling me that John Cena is using his power to push his girlfriend to the top of the company, and Daniel Bryan doesn't have this swag swing as well?
You sound surprised.
I'm being 100% sarcastic here.
Yeah, I thought you might be.
I mean...
It's obviously going to be that. I mean, if you wanted a realistic reason, like the second reason I would have is like Brie mentioning so much like on Total Divas that she wanted a baby and that she wasn't ready to commit to like a long-term WWE contract.
Well, I saw a few tweets going out about how delusional people are if they think that that's a reason that Nikki's got this push. So it's kind of BS, isn't it? Because what else can you come to the conclusion of, really? When you look at it, I mean, they're technically the same. So why did one get the push and the other one not? It's really difficult to really find that argument outside of politicking.
I don't think there is like a logical explanation for it because they're both very similar in terms of obviously looks, but also in-ring ability, mic skills. Like there's not a lot that actually sets them apart.
Average carpentry skills.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't get that quote, WCW, Arn Anderson, Kevin Nash.
I didn't get it, but I've learned now just to go along with it.
You don't get that? You don't get that quote?
I have no idea. It's like this Judy Bagwell thing that you keep banging on about.
Please. We talkers, please clue up Smack Talks with average carpentry skills. If you don't get it, come on, man. You must.
I think you may need to clue them up first.
One of the greatest promos in WCW history when Arn Anderson made his retirement speech and then the NWO came out the week later as the Four Horsemen. You had X-Pac as Ric Flair, or Six as he was called back then. You had, who else did you have in there? You had Buff Bagwell, Buffy is the Stuffy, as Kurt Hennig. You had, who else did you have in there? Ooh, let's have a quick think. Well, I can't remember one of them, but you had Kevin Nash as well, obviously, as Arn Anderson. And it's one of the best promos. You gotta go do some homework on this, man.
See, it's all WCW though. I'm WWE. It's us against them.
Well, to be honest, I'm still waiting for my email back for the Nitro party. So, you know, I'm still...
I seen you sent that off.
Yeah, well, I only noticed that it was open still. So I've obviously watched WWE Network and they're still putting adverts out for the Nitro party. So I'm thinking if I get on that shit now, then I might still be able to go. Ted Turner might still hook a brother up, you know?
Oh, fingers crossed, man. Hopefully.
Anyway, that's your homework for next week. Watch that promos. Pretty awesome.
I'll try and fit it in.
Good stuff. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about this week on We Talk is we have to touch on TNA because it was quite a big week for TNA Impact Wrestling and Global Force Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett. So we're going to quickly touch on the lethal lockdown situation, which didn't happen at Lockdown or Bound for Glory. Hold the rant on fire. But, you know, so we're going to talk about that. EC3, I have to say, being a fantastic heel. We're going to touch on Raw, which we kind of already have. We've talked a little bit about the Divas. Talk a bit about Sting as well, my favourite subject. You know.
As always.
And then we're going to give you some, Night of Champions preview and predictions as we do. So, TNA. Did you watch it? First of all.
I did watch it. I was quite disappointed by it.
You were disappointed by it? Are you going to give us a smack rant? Come on. Join the dark side.
I'm just saying I was disappointed in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, why?
It was a huge match, wasn't it? It was billed as like TNA against GFW, the future of the company on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about this match, it just screams like the biggest thing going in professional wrestling today. And yet that's not how it come across at all. It was just regular Impact, regular Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it wasn't even a pay-per-view. It wasn't a special. It didn't really seem much to it. You had commercial breaks throughout. And I just never really got into it.
Oh, you mean about Bigfoot? Bigfoot.
Yeah,
that's the Destination America advert.
I was
Bigfoot
so
constantly.
interested, like
Jeez.
in the Bigfoot thing. Like I had more interest than that.
Well, look, the way I would look at it is,
I thought he was going to be in Lethal Lockdown.
he was in the crowd. Did you not see the Indian guy was dancing with Bigfoot?
I did actually know you mentioned it.
I've forgotten his name now, the Indian dude, but he's kind of entertaining actually. I quite like him as well. But getting back to the Lethal Lockdown match that wasn't at Lethal Lockdown or Bound for Glory, I just keep saying that so I make it quite clear that this was not at a TNA pay-per-view, and I think that's what you're hinting by lackluster, because let's be honest, this was like their biggest match of the year. This was the company, this was for everything. This needed to be at a TNA pay-per-view. I'm so amped. Like, we're recording this on a Friday, yeah? So, like, Friday night, just so the Wee Talkers know, I'm kind of, like, hyped tonight.
Yeah, you finished the week of work. Like, you're ready for the weekend. You're riled up now with TNA.
I'm ready for Night of Champions. I'm expecting Sting to win the title. It could be a massive downer on the Monday. Let's put it that way.
It could be. Just think, you're rolling to work Monday morning. Sting's being, like, defeated. Like, nothing's going right for you.
Won't be going to work on Monday if that happens.
Yeah, I think he'll be calling in sick.
Look, right. So let's get back to this, right? So TNA, obviously, my expectation, to be honest with you, so I usually watch it on Challenge, but I wanted to watch it before we did We Talk. So I went on a bit of a streaming website, did a cheeky one, went on there, and I'm looking for like Lockdown, Bound for Glory, any pay-per-view that I can possibly find related to TNA, and I find out that this is on a regular show of Impact, right? Not even a special, not even one of those kind of crazy things where they do, you know, the pay-per-view one week and the next week, that stuff that don't work. But, you know, so from the offset, this is the worst booking possible because it's on a regular show, yeah? That's frustrating enough as it is. And I haven't even started on the rant yet. But, you know...
I was actually surprised it main evented.
Well, did you get to see the promo at the beginning of the show between Dixie and Karen and Jeff? Did you see that?
Yeah, the contract signing.
I thought it was pretty good contract signing. I think that Karen Jarrett is just an awesome heel. She's just her facial expressions, everything. She kind of nails it. Like, if you really like wanted to get heel heat, she's very good at doing it. She's just a bit of a bitch. So. Like, I think she does a really good job. And I thought Jeff smashed it as well with his promo as well. And then he took a little jab at, Jeremy Borash. Sent him down a bit. But
Poor guy.
Poor guy, exactly. He can't, he's just grown his hair back from having a haircut from EC3 and now getting jabbed in the face. But, you know, I thought it was all right. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good start. Dixie just don't sell it well enough. She should be, 3 or 4 months ago, she was kicking ass and taking names, having a go at everybody. Now she's just coming across weak as ever. Did the table spot really do that much damage? But, you know, I thought it was an all right start to the show and it built to what was going to come later. But, by this time, I'm already thinking this is booked wrong. This is not on the right show. And the thing that pissed me off the most is, I'm looking at the show and I'm like, no new branding, no new nothing. It's just Impact. It's already hurting me already.
It's just bad decisions all around. Wasn't this like their season premiere as well, though? Like, should that be happening sometime around now?
It's just meant to be the biggest thing going, according to them. So why would you book it on a regular show? Dumbfounded.
We say it all the time. It's just like the way TNA rolls, isn't it?
It is. I mean, in terms of the match itself, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was entertaining. I thought, the twist was a bit confusing, but it's kind of like anything in TNA. Like, all of a sudden it was 5 versus 4 with Eric Young joining Team Jarrett. Then to have, the 5th man, which was... guys, if you're watching in the UK, I've obviously mentioned a couple of things here. You might as well kind of just skip a bit forward so then you don't get any spoilers. So I'm a good boy for telling you that, there's potential spoilers coming up.
Just a few potential ones.
Like just giving the show away. But, so just put this on pause till Wednesday and then come back. But yeah. Obviously, the 5th man from TNA was actually Bram. I was expecting Kurt Angle. I was also expecting, I kind of expected a bit more, But Bram kind of makes sense if you wanted to save your company. Someone who's a bit of a badass, takes no shit. And I thought Bram sold it well, to be honest. The fact that, he's a heel, and a heel does what a heel does. Came in there, kicked ass, took names, and at the end, when TNA was victorious, he didn't really overdo it too much. He kind of was like, I don't want to know. I just came out here to make sure the company's safe, then I can get back to business. My question is why wasn't EC3 doing that?
Well, exactly. That's what I was just about to say to you. That should have been like how EC3 was actually involved in it. But I don't get it. Like, even sort of the booking, like, leading up to the match, it confused the hell out of us, because like I was watching like the matchup screens leading into the match, and it was 4 versus 4. You had the Wolves, Bobby Lashley, and Drew
McIntyre
Galloway against like Chris Masters. I'll use his old name, same as you're using old names. And like the other 3 guys on there as well. Like, it was 4 versus 4. So then when the match got to like 4 versus 4, I was like, well, hang on a second. Why is the roof not coming down? Why is it not switching to lethal lockdown? And then all of a sudden, like, Eric Young comes out. He's like the 5th man. And it's all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, he's the 5th man. It's like, 5th man? I thought there was only 4. And then there's Bram for TNA. And it's like, but surely, like, you could have mentioned there was a 5th man earlier.
Do you know a lot about, I think is it Brian Myers? Do you know a lot about
That's the name he's going with.
Is he just not like a cheap version of AJ Styles?
Ooh.
Did he not just come out
everyone
dressed,
a cheap version of AJ Styles?
But did he not come out just dressed as AJ Styles? He had the boots, he had the attire, he had the gloves. I was just expecting him to do the "you are" and do all that sort of stuff going on.
But he looks similar, but he's dressed like that for a while.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's news to me. The GFW expert over here in the building. He's just sitting there thinking, no.
Exactly.
But I mean, yeah. But would it not be TNA without the confusing stuff? Because it felt like they threw that in there at the last minute just to confuse you. And I would say that the finish I thought was pretty good. I really liked the Future Shock DDT onto the trash can. But my issue with it is that should have been Jarrett taking that. If you're going to kill them off once and for all, Galloway probably should have done it to him and been like done and dusted. And I will say one other point is future-wise, what has this done for TNA? Like, what have we achieved here? We've defeated Jarrett. The idea was that, Dixie put her shares on the line, Jeff put his shares on the line. However, Jez? Who the fuck is Jez?
Who's Jez?
I don't know. Well, Jeff, we're on that kind of term, we're kind of matey mate, so I call him Jez these days.
Obviously.
Mates, but
have to get him on the show.
To be honest, like, I have been hanging around with Chris Masters in a toilet, at Carshalton at shows, and obviously now he's on GFW. So,
Did he show you the master lock?
I don't want to tell you what he showed me. It was freaking huge. Oh my god, we just took it to a new level.
Wow.
It's a Friday.
It is Friday night we talk.
If you remember rightly, when we did talk about this before with the show that I went to in Carshalton, where you were literally able to have a piss, right, with a superstar, that was interesting. No, seriously, it's just weird. Imagine it. You're standing there having a whiz, and then all of a sudden Chris Masters just rocks up and standing next to you. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Mate, you've broken us. Like, What? It sounds like some like big opportunity. Have a piss with a superstar.
Imagine right. You're at SummerSlam, right? Yeah, and you're standing there just getting ready for your interview with Bad News Barrett. Yeah, and all of a sudden he just rocks up in the toilet with you. What is your possible response?
Hang on, why am I interviewing him in a toilet?
No.
I know you've been asking about Mike recently to do some interviews, but I think you're going about it the complete wrong way.
You're not interviewing him in the toilet, but you're getting... Why would you be getting prepared in the toilet? It's all going wrong here. But you're in the toilet, you're having a whizzle, and, then all of a sudden you look next to him, it's fucking Bad News Barrett. What are you going to do?
Well, I wouldn't be looking at the guy next to us, to be honest with you.
No, just out the corner of your eye, you notice it, and you're like, shit, that's Bad News Barrett.
Mate, honestly, if you're going to these events and you're standing there taking a whiz and you're looking at the guy next to you,
No! Oh, this is going terribly wrong. This is terribly wrong. This is not on.
that's bad etiquette, that is.
This is just weird. This is just weird. Anyway, what are you going to say? I've got a great line. If you saw Bad News Bear in the toilet, you could turn around to him and go, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I can't talk to you because I'm going to piss.
Wow, you've nailed it.
Sorted it. Rectified the situation, innit, man?
Yeah, shall we move on?
We should move on. Anyway, what was I talking about?
I have absolutely no idea.
I remember we was talking about Chris Masters, and then I got lost. Oh dear. Anyway,
but yeah, I think you're right in terms of like Jarrett. They should have like had him take the pinfall.
Take the finisher. That's right. He should have took the finisher. Right, we've got to get back on track now. Smooth it out.
We're like TNA, we're all over the place. We need to get back on track.
We've got some bad booking going on. We're booking things that
Absolutely.
we didn't even know about. But honestly, back to TNA and in seriousness, did you not think that the match was good? Because I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was definitely like pay-per-view material, and if it had been pay-per-view material and it'd been hyped in the right way, could have been a really good show. It just felt like to me that they'd done a bit of a WWE. They gave it away for free.
Well, I thought it was an alright match, but like at the same time, the whole fact that it was taking place on Impact and it didn't like have that like big match feel, that kind of took away from it. And what I kind of kept thinking to myself was like at the end of it, when the roof come down, there was like 10 guys in there and it just looked so crowded that everything kind of felt awkward. I seen like the Wolves with, I can't remember who it was, but they were ready to like whip someone to like have Galloway then hit a clothesline. And it was like they had to kind of wait for a while and you could tell they were delaying because there was so much going on. Like they couldn't actually get away with any moves.
Well, I think there was one thing that I wanted to see and I didn't get to see it was I was expecting some stuff off the top of the cage, and I think it's a lack of use of the cage until the Lethal Lockdown actually happened. Like, if we ever remember back in the day, we saw Elix Skipper running across the top of the cage and doing some crazy shit. Like, I was thinking, this is for the company, guys. You got to go all out.
You can't climb on top of it though, can you? Unless you like get outside first.
Well, no, because Lethal Lockdown doesn't come down until the end. So
yeah.
So for example, Sanjay Dutt, at the beginning, he could have tried to go at the top and hit his double foot stomp off the top of it, which would have been amazing because he does the flip as well. But
I think you'd ended up like Luke Shaw though, with a broken leg.
Possibly, but it would have been worth it. The company's on the line.
Well, the company is on the line. It's maybe worth it in that case.
Exactly. You ain't gonna have a job otherwise. Technically. Well,
take the risk.
Well, actually, let's be honest. TNA wouldn't have had a job because they put a stupid freaking thing up and GFW didn't. So, and that's what I was saying, I think. I was saying about majority shareholder Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett was, not majority, minority. He has like no shares in TNA, like a small minority. And Dixie has the whole company. And she's stupid enough to put up the whole company against his minority shares. Go figure.
Well, it doesn't make sense. It makes more sense than what we thought, where like there was nothing on the line for TNA to actually gain from it. So at least I had something on there. But taking out Jarrett entirely, whether it's storyline or not, I don't think that's a good move.
I mean, like I said, it hasn't really brought anything for TNA, and I'm gathering now, obviously, GFW are going to go off into the sunset and start doing GFW AMP. I think they got themselves a TV spot in Europe, maybe not quite yet a TV deal in the US. I'm also hearing news as well that Destination America isn't going to renew their deal with TNA. That's just rumour. But
that's been rumoured for quite a while, though.
Yeah, but I think it's getting a little bit more solid that potentially it's not going to happen now. So, and as well, it was confirmed as well this week that TNA's figures here in the UK have fallen significantly as well. And I'll be honest with you, I can completely see why. I don't really think Challenge puts on the best distribution of the show. You've always had to kind of stick it out because there's so much dubbing, editing and stuff going on, and I don't think Challenge really push it as much. It's good for them to give TNA a home, but I'd rather watch it as it is. Although Destination America highly dubs the show because I know it's so much crowd noise.
Did you not notice all the crowd noise at the start? Like when Boris was talking?
Oh, it's awful. It's just, you can't do that. Nobody chanting TNA, yet you hear TNA chants.
It's just ridiculous because it's so obvious to pick up on. It's just, why would they go with that? One other thing that actually, I don't know if you noticed, but you know how they've done like the history packages of Jarrett and Dixie?
Yes.
One thing I thought was a bit weird was like when they've done the first one about Jeff Jarrett founding the company, the only superstars that they actually showed, like they didn't show any TNA originals in this video package. They showed Foley, they showed the Team 3D.
Yeah.
And basically just all the big name guys that's come in. They showed Ric Flair, yet you didn't get anything with like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, any of those guys that actually built the company.
Bitter pill, maybe. Don't want to show those guys that have gone on to do bigger and better things. Like I know, obviously things with WWE and but
then you show the Dudleys where you've got Bully Ray who's just screwed them over entirely.
Didn't show Hogan. So I guess that if there's rumours to what a lot of people are saying is that potentially Hogan's the big name they're bringing in. Not sure about that. But
speaking of big names, though, what do you make of the announcement for Bound for Glory?
Kurt Angle,
next Hall of Famer.
Oh, fuck off! It's ridiculous.
Earl Hebner going into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Anybody that says that Earl Hebner is deserves a TNA Hall of Fame thing before, he deserves some respect for what he's done. Before AJ Styles, before
could you ever see
Samoa Joe?
WWE inducting a referee though? Any referee?
I don't know. Donald Trump's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but he's still like a well-known celebrity at the end of the day.
My point, the issue I have with that is where are the TNA originals? Why are they not being put in? Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, AJ Styles. The list goes on and on and on, and yet they go for a referee, and a referee that if you ask anybody that don't know too much about TNA, you're gonna say he's a WWE referee.
Well, that's the thing. It's more recognition, isn't it?
Insane. It's just, I don't know. And just to point out as well, there was a tweet, I think it was a couple of weeks ago from Devon, where someone said to him, "So glad that you're making an impact in the WWE." And he replied to them and said, "Don't mention Impact, it brings back bad memories." That is harsh. That is harsh. That is out of order, considering you've been put in the Hall of Fame by this company. And I also thought it was out of order on the basis that TNA gave them a home when they didn't have a home. And they did a pretty good job with them. They pushed them to the high hills. Dixie Carter, you did that. You pushed them. And look at the respect you're getting.
I can see why it is so disrespectful, and I don't think you should have done that. But at the same time, thinking of Devon, he didn't get anything like the kind of run that Bully did. So maybe he was a bit sour at that. He
didn't, but they
did walk away from them as well.
Yeah, I guess so. I like Devon. I don't think Devon's as highly or badly spoken as what Bubba is, but I just think, again, where's that respect? They did put you in the Hall of Fame, and I didn't think they should have gone in the Hall of Fame at that time. I thought there's plenty more guys out there that should have been gone in. So it's a bit of a. I mean, again, it goes back to Dixie Carter. It all falls at Dixie Carter's feet. You're just doing it wrong.
She's just got it completely wrong. She's done so much wrong in these last couple of years. It's just completely turned the company around. I mean, I'm sure the video package even says something along the lines of everything was going smoothly with Jarrett, and Jarrett made a point of mentioning he's come back to steady the ship.
Well, the promo was almost those promotional packages was almost like TNA at its height with Jeff, and as it went on to Dixie, it got worse and worse and worse. So it's frustrating because I thought last year when I went to TNA, I thought it was really good. I said it was one of the best wrestling shows I've been to, and it was. Kurt Angle versus Lashley, title changing hands, was pretty amazing. But it is that thing, isn't it? They come over here and they put on a big show because they know they got the big crowd. And I would say if you're based in the UK and TNA come over here, go watch them. It's a really good night out. I'm never ever going to say otherwise to that. But it's so frustrating at how they've lost all their talent and stuff like that, and it's hard to bounce back. I'm going this year, but I don't know what I'm going to get to see this year now. So I know it'll be a good night, have a few beers, have a good laugh, but leaves a sour taste in your mouth when you know all the amazing talent that they had.
It does. It's just nothing like it used to be, but hopefully with this GFW thing out the way, they can actually concentrate on TNA now and maybe get things back on track.
Indeed. It'll be interesting. I'm expecting, obviously, this EC3 Jeff Hardy thing to kick off. So we'll see how that goes. And I think that kind of brings us to the end of our TNA talk for this week on We Talk. It's been emotional, really. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, this whole build up to this GFW match. And I never thought we'd cover such topics that we have, Chris Masters included.
Absolutely. It's been a roller coaster, but it hasn't stayed on the tracks.
This is one of the funniest We Talks I think we've done.
And the weirdest.
Probably one of the weirdest as well. So, yes. Okay, so let's jump to the bigger company. Let's not mix our words. Let's jump to WWE and let's talk about Monday Night Raw before we touch on Night of Champions with previews and predictions. Now, Raw. We've spoke about the Divas. Is there anything else to add on the Divas?
Well, I was trying to think there when you said going back to Raw. Like, we've already covered the Divas, and that was like the big thing coming out of it. We had like the match with Sting making his debut on Raw for like the first time ever, which turned into a tag team match.
Potentially have something to say to you about this match?
What's that? Were you just glad Sting won?
No, I wasn't happy about something in this match.
What were you not happy about?
He was wearing a t-shirt.
Was it really such a big thing, though?
Yes.
What t-shirt was it?
It was a Sting t-shirt.
The question is, did it look better than that awful t-shirt you were after?
No, but he shouldn't be wearing a t-shirt in a match. It's like a forgotten rule. Don't wear t-shirts in matches.
But they do that everyone now. If you hit that certain age, you've got to wear it, unless you're the Undertaker.
He didn't wear it at WrestleMania. He looked fine.
Yeah, he's older than he was at WrestleMania.
Fuck off! That's ridiculous!
You can't argue with that.
No way! Look. He should not have worn a t-shirt. Right, okay. Question for you. Should he wear the t-shirt at Night of Champions?
Yeah. He's getting on a bit. You know, winter's setting in.
No!
Cold nights.
Smack Talks, no.
What?
No, nobody should wear t-shirts in the ring. If you got the singlet, he's pretty well built. He looked fine at WrestleMania. He doesn't need to do that. I'm going to tell him this at the interview when I go see him.
He's in great shape. He doesn't need a t-shirt, but you know what they're like.
Well, no, yeah, but he doesn't need it.
Don't get hung up on the little things.
He doesn't need it. And it just, to me, it doesn't look right when he's in a full-blown match. If it was just like, he hits the ring, bang, takes someone out, that's fine, but not in the match, Sting, please. I'm hoping this is just, for that night. And obviously he's going to jump back in the ring and he's going to, be back in his ring attire, etc. I know it's a small thing. But it's one of those kind of pet peeves. It's just, I don't think he needed it.
You'll have to start like a take it off chant when you go.
At a Q&A with Sting. That would be worse than me being in the toilet with Chris Masters.
Wait, you can tell me in the toilet?
No, Smack Talks. No. Anyway... So it didn't bother you about the t-shirt thing? It's one of those things that kind
it didn't bother us whatsoever. I don't care if like someone like wrestles in like a jacket or whatever, but it's all about the match. I don't care what they're wearing.
Oh, you like Ray Kane dresses then, obviously?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I mean, that's all in, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Nice black pants, no top.
I mean, yeah. I thought it was nice to see Sting on Raw. I'd question the tag team bit. I'd also question, Sting's like, the vigilante. Could we not have saved him doing like tag team stuff to a bit later? Survivor Series? Come on.
Well, I don't know.
I just think, I think Sting's a bit of a special attraction. I think he should come in at the pay-per-views.
Well, we say that about Lesnar as well, but it's always cool to see them rock up on Raw. And like Sting...
Has Lesnar wrestled on Raw? No. He's teased it, but he's never wrestled.
It Well, he hasn't had a match, but he's wrestled. Like, he took out Bo Dallas.
That's not a match, though, is it?
Well, it's not. But could you imagine Sting, like, would you not be disappointed if he'd never had a match on Raw?
Yeah, but against a Big Show?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? It's like going back to WCW.
It's the Big Show, man.
It's the Giant. You even called him the Giant.
I love Sting. I just thought that he had to team with John Cena as well. That's not always the happiest thing to do, but
you're guaranteed a win.
Yeah, you are actually, to be honest. So that's pretty cool. I like seeing Sting. I'm just getting a little bit anxious about what we're going for at Night of Champions. So the more I see Sting on TV, the more worried I am that something shit's going to happen at Night of Champion. I really, really want Sting to win this. Like, not to mention the fact that would mean that in October he comes over here as WWE Champion. I'm beginning to think it's not going to happen on that basis that he's coming here. That would give me the indication that he's not going to win the title. Don't you think?
I think he might win the title and then lose it to Sheamus.
No.
Instantly. In seconds.
Imagine the meltdown that's going to happen.
Shortest title reign in history goes to Sting.
Holy shit, no, we can't be dealing with this. Might need to go into, like, I don't know, therapy or something if this goes wrong.
Isn't that what they would do, though? Like, they can mention, like, Sting, like, the face of WCW wins the WWE title and he loses it in the shortest reign ever. Just sticks it to WCW.
If they do that, that could be the final straw. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You'll be calling in sick work all next week.
I might never go back. Can't be dealing with that shit. I don't know. I'm going to be, obviously, I do think, we'll talk about predictions at Night of Champions stuff, but I'll just put it out there now. I don't think Sting's going to win, but I want him to win. I don't think
I think everyone wants him to win, but
I don't know. There's
chances.
There's a lot of haters out there. A lot of Sting haters. A lot of if you do that, you're burying the company. You can't let 50-year-old man do that. You can't do that. No. Can't do it.
I'm sure they probably don't go that far.
They do.
Maybe exaggerating just a little bit. This is Sting after all.
It is Sting, but I think that quite a lot of the younger generation don't know exactly how much Sting has done for wrestling.
But he's done so much. He's been around since
forever,
like 1980 something or something. The debut.
I'm glad that he's doing his run. I'm still curious about the booking of the run. I still would have booked this a lot more mysterious. I think he might be becoming a bit more too much obvious. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know, because I like the way he's been booked.
Do you? I think he's the master of the mind games.
Especially like leading into this. Is he not been playing mind games with Seth though in the trophy and the statue? He
has, but I liked him when he was a little bit more mysterious with Triple H. I'll be honest with you. I feel I don't want him to edge towards Joker Sting.
Well, it's better than fake Sting.
What it is, but you're not catching my drift a little bit. You don't think. If you're going down the Crow gimmick route, you have to be careful with this. I think if you're going down, there's a little bit that I think with that Crow gimmick. I still think if he casted the vigilante, why would you team with people?
Well,
I'm firing questions today.
There's so many questions. I don't know what to do. He's getting old though, isn't he? So he needs some help.
I guess so.
He can't do it all on his own anymore. He's not a young boy.
He's not a young boy. But I guess if you're going to make friends with anybody, John Cena is the one to make friends with.
Absolutely. And as proven on Raw, it guarantees you the win.
For the win. Was there anything else that you kind of picked out of Raw and stuff? I'll ask you a quick question, actually, because we'll probably talk about it as well in the Night of Champion stuff. And I think this was more SmackDown, but
another question.
I got questions galore tonight. I'm loving We Talk tonight. It's like
Q&A.
Special late night We Talk that's going to go out tomorrow. This will probably go out in the morning now. This is like exceptional timing, but what are you thinking of Stardust and the Ascension? What are they called? They're called the Cosmic Wasteland. What are you thinking of this?
I actually think it's a good thing. Like, I like Stardust now, because he's so committed to the role, and adding the Ascension in with him, just the fact that it allowed them to get a win over the Lucha Dragons, I think it's a good thing. This could be the thing that actually gets them back on track, and especially with the tag team division being like a big point at the moment with the Dudleys return. I think it's the great time to actually do that and get them sorted. And I just couldn't believe it when they actually won the match. I was so shocked, and then seeing that the team was Stardust, obviously that was the reason.
I kind of agree, but I kind of don't. I kind of watched the promo on SmackDown. I really like Stardust just living the gimmick. That's cool. The Ascension, though, I just kind of rewind back to NXT, and then I'm like, nah, you're not. Why can't you just be the badasses that you were in NXT?
Well, if you just imagine that Stardust is actually the Undertaker, and they're just like his henchmen.
Right. I got to do this every week then now.
Yeah, just imagine it. Like, obviously, if you imagine things, like, it turns out to be a so much better show.
Well, it is fantastic, though, if you think about that. If they were booked as someone's henchman in that way, like with a guy of the stature of The Undertaker, it all works. I'm not questioning that Stardust doesn't work. I think Stardust works, as Stardust. Cody Rhodes does a great job of it. I just question how the face paint, the stuff with the Ascension that's done was all not necessary. So now to even enhance it even more so, it's like, for me, it's like, no.
See, I just like the fact they call them the henchmen, because it's carrying on with that like comic book thing, and I thought this would be over with by now.
Well,
they're carrying on with it.
Someone backstage has got a hunch for comic books. They're getting really excited about it.
Well, it's Aubrey Citizen that's booking it.
Is he now? Well, I hope they don't post it on a forum, or he's going to be pissed.
Well, they won't take any feedback from it anyway, will they?
I don't know. Maybe if you post it on Reddit, they might.
I don't think they'll read it.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're feeling it, but I'm not.
I like it. It's not great, but it uses the Ascension. It uses them like in a much better way than they've been booked like over the last few months. So I'm all down with it.
Cool. By the way, hashtag straight shoot. Anyway, let's kind of go in to Night of Champions. Let's talk about Night of Champions, because we'll talk about that first match. Neville, Lucha Dragons, Cosmic Wasteland. No particular order on these matches because I'm not quite sure. I don't really think that they've actually carded it in terms of positioning. I've booked it how I wanted to book it because I've booked Sting and Seth Rollins in the main event. Thank you very much.
It's got to be the main event.
Yeah, what are you thinking of this one then?
I think it'll be a win for Stardust and the Ascension, or the Cosmic Wasteland, purely because like the fact that Neville won the last one with Stephen Amell. So like, I think it's time to give Stardust the win and also give the Ascension a win and get them off on a roll.
I think it'll be a good match to start because of the guys you've got in it. Like, I always think that Neville, Lucha Dragons and stuff put on a really good show. I think that if the Ascension can kind of get back to where they were before, they'll put on a good show, and Stardust is very entertaining. So I think it'll be a really good match if they did start this on the show, if they do go with that. And I think you're right. I think that they will go with, the Cosmic Wasteland. It's a ridiculous name, but they will go with that as the winners. Neville kind of tailoring off here a little bit. Maybe this is not really part of the topic, but maybe they need like a cruiserweight division to get Neville involved in something like that.
Well, I've said that for absolutely ages. Like, it's something that I always enjoyed, the cruiserweight division. So it's something that with the guys that they've got, then it makes sense to actually have that now. But for whatever reason, they don't seem to want to go down that route. But I think it's something that could be absolutely amazing matches every single week. And with the championship on the line, it just adds so much to it. Maybe,
I guess maybe to counter that, you could say that if Neville is a cruiserweight champion, he could never be a WWE champion. So let's say if Balor came up to the roster, he'd be pigeonholed to the cruiserweight division. That would not be good for him because he'd have to be like, you know, I think that Finn Balor's a future world champion, so I'd see it insane that he would be pigeonholed. But you could maybe think that that's the case. But on the other hand, on the flip side, WCW wise, that used to be something I always used to watch. I used to love watching the cruiserweight division. It was always something entertaining. You know, you had like Psychosis, Juventud, Rey Mysterio. So, you know, if they could kind of bring that kind of back, that's another thing to fill the 3 hours of Raw, which we don't really get a lot from in the first place. So a cruiserweight spot would be great.
Well, it's kind of like just rename it a bit. Like the X Division Championship, that was known for like the high flying, but it wasn't like specifically a light heavyweight championship. So they could go down that route and make sort of a belt that is more for your high flying sort of superstars, but not categorically pigeonhole them as being like cruiserweights.
It was pretty good back when they had it, though. They had like Taka Michinoku. Why do I keep thinking Max Mini was involved in there? But he kind of wasn't. He was just like a small guy.
Well, I just keep remembering like Christian in a chicken suit sweating away to try and get down to like weight level.
The issue is when I think of Taka Michinoku, I just think of Choppy Choppy Your Pee Pee.
Well, that was never a good angle.
It's never a good angle. Never.
I always think of him like going over the top rope in the Rumble, where he went like face first into the match.
Oh yes,
devastating.
Oh, Taka Michinoku. Back in the day. So you're going with the Cosmic Wasteland?
Indeed.
I'm gonna go with you as well. I just don't really see the Neville and the Lucha Dragons having a reason to win. I think that's why I'll go with that.
Makes sense. I would go with it.
So my next match on this card that I've booked is Ryback versus Kevin Owens. And if you don't know who I'm going to go with already, you're probably insane.
I'm going to guess at Kevin Owens.
Yes. Kevin Owens has to win this match.
I've got a question for you.
Oh no. Have you? Really?
You know how like neither we're really big Ryback fans?
No, we're not.
Are you not more interested in this Ryback match over other ones because he's going up against Owens?
I don't even think that Kevin Owens can make Ryback look good.
I think it's going to be a hard task, but I'm interested to see what they actually do. I think Owens will try to get the best out of him, but I think my prediction here is an injury to Kevin Owens.
No. Why?
It's the Ryback way, isn't it?
The issue is Ryback is so one-dimensional. There's nothing else about him. He's got nothing else in the tank apart from brute force. And Kevin Owens likes the strong style, so it kind of weighs up as a good match. Like, you know, it seems to suit Owens as well. The issue is for me is that Owens is going to be really limited in what he can do. I think it's a difficult task to get Ryback in the sort of moves that Owens likes to do. It was probably hard to do the moves with John Cena, to be honest, because Cena's a bit of a unit, but to do those moves with Ryback, like for example, you know, he does that. He's done that move off the top rope before. I find that's going to be a struggle where, you know, he drops him on their head. It's like I don't know what that move is. I'm not really sure what that's called, but it looks epic. Anyway, the one where he tries to spin him from the back. I think a lot of the moves that Owens going to try and do, he's going to struggle with. So he's got to kind of come with a new dimension for Ryback for his one dimension.
It is going to be awkward. Like I would say, like he has gone up against big guys in the past and pulled it off. When you think of Cesaro,
yeah, but he hasn't.
You kind of compare Ryback and Cesaro because Cesaro can actually like take their moves and make it easier for him. And Ryback, it's going to be a real struggle for Owens.
He has never come up against the big guy. The big guy.
You probably won't again after this.
I mean, this guy's been building up that meat hook clothesline since the day he had that interview with Renee Young, which was bloody awful. So
he's still going.
He's still ready for it. He's ready to be fed.
Going to put your shoulder out.
I watched the Universe Mode the other day, and I think that someone was booking Ryback, and they said, "Somebody feed this guy more."
I don't know who that was.
It was beautiful, though. It was beautiful. I mean, I just thought to myself, I can't feed him anymore. He's too fat.
Yeah, just draw the line.
Are you all right there?
I'm all right.
Sound like I've broken you once again, like Ryback might do to Kevin Owens.
I'm losing my voice, yeah.
But do we really want to see Kevin Owens be fed to Ryback? I think the answer is no.
We don't, but I think he probably is going to. I would say Ryback's got this.
You think Ryback victory? Shit.
I think you probably will do. I would love to see Owens win it.
Oh,
I think it's amazing Owens has like only come up and he's had all these like US title shots and now he's got an Intercontinental title shot. But I can't see him win it now. I think it'll be like the next pay-per-view on.
What I'd love to happen is I'd love for Kevin Owens to win the belt and get rid of that goddamn awful white strap and change that belt and, make it Kevin Owens' belt. That's what I like.
That would be something I would be down with.
So I'm going to book Kevin Owens in this one. I'm going against the grain.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while back. I think you're going to be disappointed.
Well, Twitter will find out that on Sunday night because I will be up. I will be watching it. I will be live tweeting.
You will be ranting.
Possibly. But somebody feed him more. That's all I've got to say. Love it. Love it. Next up, John Cena. See where I booked it? I booked it in the right position.
I think this is probably where it is going to take place. I don't know if like the Ryback match will be so early.
Yeah, I reckon you probably stick like New Day.
We'll have the tag team titles in first.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, Cena versus Rollins, United States Championship is the first of the double defense from Seth Rollins.
See, I thought you would have talked about this last and kind of mixed it in with the WWE Championship. Because the outcome of this kind of really, like, then sways what you're going to say for, like, the main event.
Maybe. Do you want to save it?
I think we should save it to, like, the last two.
Okay. Smack Talks has made a ruling that we are going to save this one. So let's skip to something that's even better than that. Let's talk about Nikki Bella versus Charlotte.
I thought you were going to say Rusev and Ziggler.
No, that's much further down my card for some bizarre reason. Maybe because I love it so much.
It's got to be.
So, Nikki, Charlotte. I'll say this, right? If Charlotte wins, it absolutely is pointless that Nikki Bella has broke the reign. So I really think that Nikki Bella should retain on the basis that if she doesn't, it's ruined a lot of things for no reason.
Well, I'll agree with that, but at the same time, I'll argue that if Charlotte does win, then, well, that's what you said, so I'll agree with that first. But I'll argue if Nikki does win, then what's going to happen to Charlotte? Because she's been like brought up as this like strong, powerful like diva that's supposed to like run through the division. But if she gets past her, she beats her twice in the same week. What next?
What I'd like to happen is, well, what I could try and think. Well, it's not really what I'd like to happen because I actually wouldn't like any of this to happen. I'd rather Sasha Banks pick up the belt, to be honest with you. So
Sasha's too busy with Bayley, and I don't want them affecting that.
She is, I guess so. But I also think that what Sasha could do is she could just come in and wipe out Brie. Just give her a bit of a pow. And then there's no more Brie to get involved. There's no more twin magic. There's no more tissue down the titties and all that sort of shitty, you know?
Wait, you know how this has been like booked so badly? And they've gone out with like every single match?
Yes. The
stipulations on this, let's just run through them. Because if Nikki is pinned, or she's submitted, or she's counted out, or she's disqualified, then she loses her title. What if Brie gets in the ring and hits Nikki? So Charlotte's disqualified?
That's probably going to happen, to be honest with you.
That's probably the way they'll go with it.
Well, I did see the huge disappointment from Nikki to Brie when obviously Brie got pinned. Or did she get pinned? Yeah, she got rolled up, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, it's happened a few times.
So I did see the huge disappointment that Brie kind of cost her the match, and then obviously it got fixed and rectified. But yeah, I expect a fudgy finish. To be honest, this is the one that could be fudgy. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck because I think it is really pointless letting Charlotte win this match because you just took AJ Lee's record for no reason. I'm not exactly the biggest AJ Lee fan, but I'm going to fight the corner and say that she didn't deserve to be treated the way she has.
Nah, she didn't at all. I think this is just going to be a case of Nikki going, you know what? I've beat the record. Here you go. You can have the title. I don't care anymore.
I don't know. I think it's just stupid. I think they broke their own revolution by not pushing through a few victories for Charlotte, to be honest. Because Charlotte should have just come up to that roster and dominated. She didn't.
She should have, but they made the problem of bringing up so many people at the same time and then trying to fit them all in. And you can't really have Charlotte dominate and just just ignore like the rest of the people that's come up.
And I do feel really sorry for someone like Becky Lynch, because I think Becky is better than what she's doing at the moment.
She's a lot better. Like, that's what I mean. It's a shame that they brought them all up together, because if you think Sasha is like doing so many amazing things with Bayley in NXT, then there was no need to bring her up. And as for Becky, she's kind of lost in the mix because Charlotte's the one that's getting all the shots from Team PCB, and it just kind of leaves her in the background. So why not just keep her in NXT until there's like an actual spot for her?
Indeed, I totally agree. And I still, my love for Paige hasn't really got much better, to be honest with you. I'm just backing Sasha to beat her every week.
She's not invited you around to her house yet?
No, they can't get an invite. It's not good. I was going to invite her to the Nitro party if I went, but she not doing it. So
not up for it.
No, don't want to know. Don't know what I did wrong, to be honest with you.
It's just not going well, is it? This could be a really bad week for you.
Could be a really bad week. If Sting loses, I'm going to cry. Probably going to cry. And then I don't know what I'm going to do on We Talk next week. You'll have to host it.
I can give it a go.
Just kind of choked up there for a minute, yeah?
I did. You caught it's like made a cup of tea.
I don't know where Weeds is. I don't know where you're going to find him these days. I'm not really sure what he's doing. He might be hanging from the rafters or something like that. I'm not sure what he's doing.
See, that's where Sting is.
That's what I sent him. I kind of had a little cheeky word with Weeds. I said, go hang in the rafters, right?
Get him to sort this Crow gimmick out.
Yeah, fix this stuff out and make sure Sting don't wear his t-shirt to the ring. And then obviously you've got to come down from the rafters and sort it out. And Sting wins.
So if he comes out in a t-shirt, it's totally Weeds' fault.
Totally. Weeds has fucked it from the rafters, basically.
There we go. Just blame Weeds.
Hashtag just blame Weebs. Weebs?
Weebs?
Weebs.
You're taking shots at him now.
Ooh, I don't know what Weebs is. I'm going to tell him to listen to this week because he needs to listen. Anyway, right. So who are you going with?
Which match are we talking about? The Divas match.
Nikki and Charlotte.
I don't know, because I've kind of lost interest, not in the Divas, but in this outcome. Like, it doesn't really mean much to us anymore. Like I said, if Nikki wins, then it kind of like devalues Charlotte. If Charlotte wins, then it makes like Nikki breaking the reign like a bit pointless. So I would go Charlotte just because I don't like Nikki. So
I would go Nikki because I think Nikki's going to win.
Because of John Cena.
Probably. And also, a game that you can play. So is Brie allowed at ringside? Is she allowed?
She probably will be at ringside.
So obviously this is a game that I probably will pass on here because it could be a bit too hardcore for me. And I'm pretty sure that Smack Talks is down with a cup of teas and he's not going to go full blown out. But I will put a challenge out to the Revolution that every time that Brie Bella says, "Come on, Nikki," she has to have a little sip of one of her contagious concoctions of cocktails that she likes to have.
You've just killed Elle. You know that, right?
Pretty much, but the challenge is there, so I hope that she would like to reply to this and say challenge accepted.
I'm sure she'll accept it. You obviously have to accept it though as well.
No way, man.
You can't actually issue a challenge and then sidestep it yourself.
We'll wait and see what she comes up with. We have to think about these things. We have to debate how depressed I could be on the night as well. To be honest with you, I think I've got enough on the line. I'm almost like Dixie Carter, putting up everything to lose everything.
That just makes so much sense.
Totally does.
You should book TNA with that kind of sense.
I totally should. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, because the next one's kind of one I'm looking forward to, actually, to be honest with you. Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns with to be announced Baron Corbin versus the Wyatt family. So who's the mystery opponent? Who's the mystery guy?
Well, it looks as though it could be Baron Corbin. Maybe.
How does it look like that?
Well, it looked like that on the screenshot that WWE.com accidentally released. If that is true, I mean, I didn't see it on the website, so it could be a rumor. But is the lone wolf Baron Corbin really fitting in as the third guy? Is
anybody really fitting in as the third guy? I find it quite a struggle to get to the bottom of this one. I don't think anybody really fits the bill of anybody that they could kind of recruit.
Well, it could be really obvious and be like someone like Eric Rowan or Randy Orton. That would be really disappointing, but I could see it happening.
If it's Eric Rowan, the only way it's good is if Eric Rowan turns on him. Because I think that Bray Wyatt needs to win in this. The Wyatt family need to win. And the best way to do it is if Eric Rowan comes out and he turns his back on him. It's kind of obvious. But, he gets the job done. He gets heel heat on Wyatt. He gets heel heat on Rowan, makes Rowan relevant. And, I kind of think that works. So
it does, but surely the Shield wouldn't trust Eric Rowan.
It's not the Shield, though, is it? They haven't got the Architect in there.
Well, it could be by then the Night Shield 2.0.
Well, Seth Rollins is doing triple duty.
Well. What do you think? Who would you put in there?
If I was going to go down to NXT and pick someone, I would have brought up Samoa Joe.
I think Joe could work, but what I'll pitch to you is the Wyatt family make the way to the ring. Ambrose and Reigns come out, get ringside.
Yes.
Everyone's looking at them. They're like, "Where's the third guy?" All of a sudden, the lights go out. Finn Balor's music hits.
That'd be cool.
The demon comes down to ringside.
And that would be like you've just kind of booked Saturday Night Main Event. But that would be cool. I'd really like that. But on the flip side, Smack Talks, I want Finn Balor to be champ. I want him to be higher than this when he comes in.
Yeah, but everyone's wanting to know who this third man is. There's a big focus on it. Everyone's looking at that stage, and then Balor.
And he's too busy being NXT champ, I think.
But who better to recruit than the champ?
This is a really good point. It is a good point. I just think that I think that's a long shot.
Besides, Corbin, he's teaming with Rhino in NXT in this tag team tournament.
Wait a minute, they didn't get on a little while ago.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he was his partner this week.
Seriously?
I think so.
I'd see. I kind of want to give Joe something because I don't think Joe's getting what he deserves in NXT. I think Joe should have came in. Well, Joe came in big, and then he kind of just depreciated because of the fact that Kevin Owens moved up. So we were all expecting this huge rivalry between these two, and we got nothing. So give Joe that push.
I think Joe would be a good call. I would like to see Joe.
I think Balor has the shot factor. Don't get me wrong. I think you're right. I think it'd be awesome. But I'd say Balor for when you want to kind of push him for the world title. Because I love Finn Balor. And I want him to be top notch.
So are we saying you would prefer to see Seth retain against Cena? Ask who's next and then the lights go out and out comes Balor. Prefer that?
No, I'd rather see Sting versus Finn Balor.
Oh, God. You're not getting past Sting here.
Well, that's the best. That would be an awesome feud. It's like the mysterious Finn Balor versus... I've noticed, because I haven't kept in tune with NXT a huge amount recently, and I've got to say to you that... So has Finn gone back to the old look of the leather jacket and stuff? Because I know he hasn't got the Jericho lights, the real rock and roller stuff from New Japan, but he's got the leather jacket again now. So are we saying that he's completely completely split the characters now. I even see he's got a new Titantron when he's Finn Balor and he's not the Demon.
Yeah.
So has he completely split them out now?
Kind of. I don't know.
It wasn't that clear before, and I think kind of if you're kind of go down that route, that makes it like 100% clear. It's like split personality.
I don't know if it's split personality. I think it's just like getting in the zone.
Right. So the war paint is, game time.
Yeah, exactly. Game on.
Interesting. Anyway, back to prediction. So actually, who is your 100% pick for Team Ambrose and Reigns?
Well, I'm going to rule out The Rock. I don't think Roman's been on the phone to him. Not after last time. Someone like Jericho wouldn't surprise us.
Jericho? Really? Nah.
But I think Orton and Rowan, they're the two main choices. I think it's going to be a disappointment.
I think it should be Rowan, and just because I want to see the Wyatts go over. So that would be my choice.
I would go with that. If he turns on them, then yeah, I'm happy with that. It brings them back into it.
I think this is the best stuff that the Wyatts have done in a long time. I think the build to it, the Braun Strowman stuff, everything looks absolutely awesome in terms of the way that they're building them. So if they take a defeat now, it really would deflate everything they've gone and pushed the momentum towards. So something like having Rowan come in and kind of, turn his back on them to join the family again, really for me would just, make it instrumental in them going forward. So that's what I'm saying.
I think so. I could go with that.
Cool. So let's go to the next one, which is your favourite, Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev and Summer Rae. And Lana is nowhere to be seen. Her hurty arm is keeping her out of the pay-per-view by the sounds of it.
Well, it's a strange one, isn't it? Why is like a broken wrist keeping you out of that if you're not actually in action? I mean, surely this match was supposed to be our in-ring debut, but...
You didn't see her Instagram?
She was milking it just a little bit, wasn't she?
It's a bit OTT, in it. Let's not beat around the bush. It's a little bit over the top, to be honest with you. I'll be back. I'm coming. See you. Never give up.
She was in a lot of pain. Maybe it was the drugs just affecting her.
I totally get it's frustrating because if she's got a first in-ring match, she can't do it. But is she not just being casted up? We've seen wrestlers wrestle in a cast before.
Well, that's what I mean. I can't understand why she's not on TV. It seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm agreeing on that. And I think that this match is now made even less worthwhile because I'm not really fussed about it. I really don't know who I want to win. I kind of want Rusev to win because I feel that he's been really treated shit since he had his feud with Cena.
Well, that's what I was thinking earlier. Like, someone mentioned that Cena's lost like 4 matches on pay-per-view this year, which is unheard of. And they were listing them, and one of the matches was actually Rusev. So it's kind of like strange to think that because it seems like so long ago now. And Rusev's just completely changed since then. He's totally lost it. So I think it'd be good to get him back on track. But I don't know where they go with this now with Lana not being in. It depends when she comes back. But I could see Rusev winning this, and then it finally goes on to the mixed tag team match. But it all depends on Lana and if she pulls through.
I really think as well that this match damages both men. Like, when we've said before in other matches where we're like, well, it doesn't really matter. This person can take a loss. This match, actually, to be honest with you, neither man can take a loss because they are both in a really shit position at the moment. I think if Rusev loses, it just makes him look even worse than what he does at the moment. Apart from his amazing Rusev faces, of course. But Dolph Ziggler, we've said time and time again that Ziggler deserves to be in a better position in the company, and it'd be another loss. So it's crap for both men, to put it bluntly.
I think it's just been a really badly booked feud, and I can't wait till it gets over. I think this is just going to be a case of, delay things until the next match when Lana gets back and we know what's going on with it. So I would go Rusev.
And I found in the comment section last week, when doing my research for this week's Free Talk, quite a lot of people agree with me that your top 5 reasons around Lana of, what makes Lana so good, really was lacking a little bit there.
What? That is preposterous.
It's kind of true. The stuff he was coming out with was ridiculous. I think one of them was that you were happy that she was in love.
Well, come on, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. You can't knock someone who's in love. She's having the happiest time of her life. Like, look at everything that she's been through with Rusev. That guy has kept her down, held her back, pushed her out the side, tried to take a spotlight for herself. And, now she's finally with a guy that respects her for the beautiful woman that she is. Just let her be happy.
Dolph Ziggler, that's tried it on with every single bird in the WWE.
Look, he did give Summer a pair of earrings, like on Raw. And he did say, like, there might be something to it on SmackDown, but she's happy. Just let her be happy, man. She deserves it.
He's copped off with every single one in the WWE. I think he's had a fling with every single diva.
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah?
Don't ruin it for her, man.
She'd be better off, putting her trust in, I don't know, like, the Big Show?
I don't know.
Someone that's loyal?
Maybe like
knows where he's going? No, not really.
Maybe invite her to this Nitro party and see if you can find a good guy that'll really look after her.
This seems to be the answer.
That's what she deserves, man.
This seems to be the answer to everything. The Nitro party. The Nitro party. I'll tell you what, just off topic. Obviously, you know about the Nitro girls, yeah?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Nitro girls.
There's one of the Nitro girls that really gets on my nerves.
Which one?
The one with short hair. She really annoys me. Really annoys me. She's too smiley.
Why?
She's too smiley. She's too happy. Go and watch an episode of Nitro and tell me that doesn't annoy you that someone's that happy.
I don't get you. Like, you're so negative. Like, Lana's all happy. She's smiling away there. And you're like, you know what? I don't like it when girls smile. Like, these Nitro girls, they smile too much. They're trying to please the audience. What's with that?
I don't mind Kimberly. I don't mind any of the other ones. The one that looks a bit like Gail Kim as well. But not that one. She's really... Look, watch Nitro for like 2 weeks on the bounce and tell me it don't get a bit annoying.
Well, I would, but unfortunately, it's not available, is it?
On WWE Network.
Well, I'll have to go back and watch it, but it's not the same.
Are you telling me that the competition isn't still live?
I'm trying to actually get out of watching WCW. You've already told us to watch it once tonight.
It's freaking awesome. Come on, man. Eric Bischoff books that shit. It's awesome.
That shit, exactly. And that is why it's not around anymore.
Hold on a second. This is completely off topic, but this is the question. So you're telling me that you never liked WCW at all?
I never watched WCW until
God.
Well, I tell you what it is, right?
No way. We have just had a revelation here, ladies and gentlemen. Smack Talks did not watch the WCW.
I watched some WCW, but I didn't watch it in terms of Nitro. All I watched was WCW Worldwide on channel.
What the fuck are you watching that for?
Because I wasn't a WCW fan. This was right near the end. I started watching Worldwide, and I was starting to think, I might start watching it a bit more. And then obviously Vince bought it, so...
Man, you gotta go back and watch the WCW history, man. You gotta get into this stuff. It was good back then, man. It was right, so imagine this on my Friday night, right? My Friday nights was consisted of, just off topic, it was TNT was at 7 o'clock. It was about 7, I'd start watching TNT, start watching WCW Nitro. It would go on, I don't know, WCW seemed to go on for ages. It was 3 hours or something like that. And then it would get around about 10, I don't know, I'm just exaggerating the times here because I was having such a good time myself. But then I get there and all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock, Raw's on, and I'm flicking back and forth. I'm seeing what Hogan and Bischoff are doing. I'm flicking back to Austin. Holy shitballs, Testicle Tuesday. This was one of the best times ever. You missed out, Sunshine.
What do you mean I missed out? I was watching the dominant show, the one that triumphed.
The one that didn't win
Monday
for 18 weeks or whatever, it was 16 weeks.
Yeah, but you know what? You had to sit through all that rubbish leading up to that. I just got to watch the highlights and see all the best bits.
You cannot class it as rubbish. You got to go back and watch. You can't tell me that WCW was rubbish, man. The whole wrestling industry would be better if WCW was still around. We still had challenging competition to the WWE.
It was rubbish. They had that moron with the face paint, Sting or whatever his name is. It's ridiculous.
This guy just turned heel in the space of like 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Mark it now. He's turned heel. Turn heel and we talk. Turn heel.
You know, I'm just sticking up for Team WWE. You're bashing it. You're saying they had like 18 weeks of awful programming.
No way. I celebrated both. Did you not hear me? TNT, right? Like 7 o'clock.
You turned your back on WWF and switched over to WCW.
Never, right?
Your return court?
No.
Pick a side.
I watched WCW till like 10 and then Raw and flipped between the two.
So, which did you prefer?
On cable,
which did you prefer?
Austin era was amazing. Yeah,
you had Sting on the other side. It's all about Sting. Sting.
But it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was all about the NWO, man. If you can't appreciate what the NWO was doing back then, it was like, okay, so it was a load of old guys getting involved, and it got too much. But originally, man, when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash rocked out, you telling me that ain't the hippest thing in wrestling that ever happened? It was freaking amazing.
Well, I didn't see it at the time.
You gotta go back and watch it. WWE Network.
Well,
Come
I've
on,
obviously
son.
seen it now.
Me and you, man. We need to sit down and have a serious WCW sesh.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon.
Somebody's got to tell him. Come on, boys. Come on, boys and girls. If there's any girls that was listen to this. Oh man, I can't believe it. I'm so disappointed.
But that's why, like, if someone brings up WCW, then yes, like, I get the big moments, like most of them that I've seen like since in highlights and things that are always brought up, but I never watched it week in, week out.
So you don't appreciate the cruiserweight division, man?
Well, I've seen some of the cruiserweight matches since. I'll go back and watch them because some of them are classic matches.
That's what you're getting now.
You're not impressed, are you?
Not impressed, man. You got to go back and watch this stuff, man.
Get out of the past, man. It's about Night of Champions. This is 2015.
Yeah, I'm embracing 2015, but I'm also loving the history of wrestling, man. So are you going to go back and watch like NWA and stuff like that when Flair was in his prime?
No.
Why?
Because that's not on the network.
Yeah, but you can still find it. Ric Flair will clue you up week on week on the podcast, man.
I don't want to be watching Ric Flair though when I can watch the amazing Rusev face.
He's opening up cracks in his argument now. The amazing Rusev face is good, but it's not as good.
Hang on, you're saying it's not an amazing Rusev face?
No, it is. It's always amazing. I'm not being funny.
U-turn code.
Every week's a beautiful face from Rusev. You can't question that. He's a handsome fella, isn't he?
He's an amazing fella. He's unrivaled.
Handsome fella. So we found out we've had a revelation, ladies and gentlemen. Smack Talks is a WCW hater.
I didn't say that. I can't be a hater if I didn't watch it.
No, to be fair, if you didn't watch it, you didn't watch it. But I would say, like, you should catch up on a few episodes because it was good. You could never think that it wasn't good. Obviously the Russo bookings were awful, but before that, when the NWO first started coming to like fruition, it was cool, totally cool.
It was cool watching them moments back, but
you got
obviously I can't say I didn't watch it at the time. And if I sit and watch a full show now, it doesn't have the same impact because I've seen the highlights.
But you missed out on tons of Bobby the Brain Heenan amazing commentary. That, like, Bobby the Brain Heenan is the absolute best. I love Bobby the Brain. You can't argue that. Bobby is the man.
I thought Seth Rollins was the man.
Bobby's better.
Get back to 2015.
All right, fine. We'll go back to 2015. I'm going to be well interested in the comment section below. If everyone's just going to be like, nah, man, WCW sucks. I'm going to be like, really?
Yeah, man, WCW does suck. That's why they're not around anymore.
Gee, heel. So heel. So heel. Anyway, let's come back to it then. Let's come back to your era, the PG era. Let's talk about that then.
This is the reality era?
Let's talk about the PG era. Let's talk about the New Day versus the Dudleys, because you're probably not going to be supporting the Dudleys because you stick with the current. Did you watch ECW then?
I did actually watch bits of ECW.
What did you watch on Bravo?
But I watched highlights online.
I'm going for it now. I'm going in for the kill.
See, that was quality program.
It was good.
I watched them invade WWF.
Oh, not this again. It was good though when Rob Van Dam came in though, wasn't it? Like,
well, absolutely.
Mr. Monday Night. Anyway, come on, back to the stuff that you love, and I love it too. To be honest,
well, I was going to say you can't argue that you don't like the New Day or the Dudleys.
I freaking love the New Day. The New Day and that trumpet, whatever they want to play, they can play that every week because it's freaking amazing. I'll be looking at a title change here.
I don't think so. I think this is going to be a bit too soon for the Dudleys. Obviously, title number 10 is coming, but this is way too early. The New Day are on fire, and you can't put that fire out anytime soon for me.
I think so. I think that someone's going to get put through a table after the match, but I do think the New Day will come through with the goods. I really would hate that because I need to see some epic Big E dancing as well, because it's all about the booty, obviously.
It is. Did you not see his sign on SmackDown?
I didn't actually.
Hashtag booty.
He's fucking amazing. He's so good. I love all this stuff.
They're all amazing. They're so good.
I love all this side stuff from like the New Day and Team Bad as well. Like I love all the thing with the mixing of the belts. It's just brilliant. This gimmick has given them a new lease of life. These three guys who you would have to say were like dark in the water. They had no chance of getting anywhere because Kofi Kingston had a really lame gimmick, to be honest with you. Big E had got stale, and Xavier Woods, well, I don't know, he was out to sea. But the way that they've just got these back together is just awesome.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. It's some of the best stuff to actually watch on TV at the minute. Like the whole show, it's just when they come out, it just uplifts you because you know it's just going to be so fun and entertaining. And
I think it's the basis that they're just crazy. Like, I've always been one to think, and I think sometimes We Talk kind of does this as well. If you're just random, then you kind of get good stuff out of it. And that's what they are. Like, I watched their promo the other day, and it's just like the WWE exclusive, I think it was, on the YouTube channel. And it's just like, some of the stuff that come out of is just like, what the fuck did they say? But it's just so random. It makes it so good.
But that is the thing. Like, sometimes, like, you don't need all these, like, really planned scripted sections. It's just the random stuff and the stuff that's sort of off the fly. It just works so well in the time, and it's exactly what they've done. And the stuff with like the musical stuff, the musical numbers, coming out singing, trombone, it's just been amazing to watch. I cannot wait to see what they do next.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. I want them to go from strength to strength, so I don't want them to drop the belts to the Dudleys yet, although I do think we will get a Dudley title reign at some point. So I'm going New Day.
I'm going New Day as well. I don't want to give it the Dudleys yet because Bubba will be off once he's won it.
Yeah, I know, probably. I'm not going to question. The Dudleys have come back with a bang. They've been pretty good. They've been awesome, in fact. I think there's plenty more to go with the Dudleys. But yeah, New Day rocks for me.
Absolutely.
So, we've done pretty well because we've been going, We're going 120, so like last 10 minutes to cover the two matches. I think that sounds pretty good. John Cena, Seth Rollins.
See, this is really hard because there's so many outcomes. You could lose this match, like Seth could lose this match, win the next one, and have the main title. But I think if he wins this match and he keeps the United States Championship, regardless of what happens in the other match, it's no good for the title because it either plays like second fiddle at the main championship, or if he loses the WWE Championship but keeps the United States Championship, then his focus is still going to be on wanting to win that back. So either way, it doesn't work out well for the US title. So I would say it has to be a John Cena win.
I think so. I think if Rollins was to keep the US title but to lose the WWE title, it's kind of crap, really. He doesn't really want to. Why would he want to keep that one? That's not his prized possession. His prized possession is the world title. I would even think to myself to sacrifice the United States to concentrate on the main one, to be honest with you. It's no skin off his nose, he just doesn't make sense, to be honest. So, do I want Cena to win on the night? No, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather see Rollins win. But do I think that Cena's going to win? Yeah, I think Cena's going to win.
I think so. I hope he does. I think it could be like a bad night for Rollins and he could lose everything. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for because I think that'll give him like a lot of character development.
Do you think there's going to be any sort of interference in this one? Considering... no, I don't know, actually. I don't think they probably will.
I don't want there to, but if there was some, I think it would be like Sting's crow sound, like on the Tron, to distract Rollins and maybe cost him the match. But I don't think it needs it. I think it should just be like a straight up match and Cena get the victory. And then it makes Rollins question himself for the main event.
Yeah, clean Cena win, though. Really? Do we want that?
John Cleaner?
Probably. Cleans up most weeks. Probably cleaned out Nikki Bella a couple of weeks ago as well. Probably on Raw.
And the Celebration.
Yeah, Celebration. Probably had a right clean out. Know what I'm saying?
I think the whole world knows what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to what we're talking about. I'm really stuck with this because I think I'd like Rollins to potentially... I don't think it would be bad to have Rollins win both on the night. I don't. But I think that something's got to give at this pay-per-view, otherwise it doesn't really give anything. And I think that what's got to give is that Triple H ends up disappointed in Seth. And so then it kind of leads me to believe that it is going to be a clean sweep and that Cena will win and Sting will win. And then it's Triple H fuming at Rollins to have dropped both prestigious titles leading to their feud.
Well, so is that what you're going with?
Oh no, because I don't think Seth Rollins is going to lose the world title on the night. I think
he'll win it.
Yeah, I think he's going to keep the world title. I want Sting to win, but I don't think he will.
Do you think Rollins will leave with it though?
I think that something fudgy will happen, like Triple H will pedigree Rollins, get him disqualified, which means that Sting wins via DQ or something like that.
I thought you were going to go with like the finish from like SummerSlam where he pedigreed Daniel Bryan and then had him like cashed in on.
Oh, well, that's the other option, isn't it? It didn't even enter the mind again that Sheamus is waiting and Sheamus is teasing.
Well, so. That's what I've just asked you. Do you think you'll leave with it? That's what I was kind of angling at. Like
I got it now.
Sheamus has got to cash in because he's been so involved the last couple of weeks, teaming with Rollins. So there's got to be like something that actually leads to.
Yeah, but that leads to what you said. That leads to a Sting crap reign, and I don't think that Sting deserves that. Do you? Would you think?
I don't, but I've already said it once. Like, it wouldn't surprise us if Sting won it, got that title reign, and then all of a sudden won the shortest reigns in history. Sheamus comes in and cashes in. But like, what I would say is the good thing here is if Sting wins it, then it means that going forward, not only do we get like a rematch against Rollins, but they can like bring back in the whole Triple H and Sting thing and have another match between them for the championship. It just kind of like, it depends what they want to do with Sheamus, because they either have to push him now or hold fire on him.
I'd like maybe what probably could work if Sting did win it and Sheamus tries, like, you know, because Sting's battered, that Sheamus tries, but then decides not to do it, teases it, but doesn't. I think a tease to cash in would work. So he's like, actually, to be honest, like maybe you know, like Sting can do, you know, like Sting could bounce. He thinks he's going to beat him, and Sting bounces up, does the, you know, that rah thing with his chest and stuff, and then make Sheamus think twice.
What if, I can't see this happening, but what if Sheamus cashed in and then Rollins cost Sheamus the match? Because there's like obviously something between the two of them, so that could then like take them two aside and have Sting and Triple H. But it kind of works from Rollins' side because you would want to take Sheamus out of the picture because you'd obviously fancy your chances more going up against Sting. So
he doesn't cash in though?
Well, I would say he does cash in, but then Rollins costs him the match. Or you could just stop him cashing in altogether.
Yeah, but a waste of a cash-in is not good. It's the Damien Sandow effect.
It is, but does Sheamus really need it? He's had it before.
I'd be surprised if they let Sheamus not capitalise on his cash-in.
I just think we've got like so much talent at the minute. We don't really need like to have Sheamus go main event. I would prefer to say like some of the guys up there and some of the newer guys getting a shot?
Well, I've always said that if Sting got the championship reign, I want to see him go up against the Wyatts. That's my fantasy booking. So, I'll agree with you. I don't think maybe Sheamus his time is right now. But that's why I'd rather him withhold back the briefcase and wait for his opportunity. Seth Rollins waited a long time. Sheamus can do the same. He can tease it. That's why I say tease the cash in. But I don't think I don't think he warrants to just lose the briefcase.
Well, it's always a waste, but it just, I don't know. It all depends on if they've got something planned for Sheamus, or if this is just kind of like thrown together again at the last minute. I think they have to have like a set out plan of where they want to get Sheamus to.
I mean, one thing's for sure, that this is probably one of the most exciting Night of Champions that we've had, because there's so much mystery around what's actually going to happen. It's like I still think on paper I don't expect Sting to win, but it would be amazing if he did. So, you know, I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. I think I'll make my predictions. I think that Seth Rollins will lose the US title and he'll retain the WWE title. That's my prediction, but I want Sting to win. There you go.
Hang on, so you think you'll lose the WWE Championship and the...
No. I think that Seth Rollins will lose the United States Championship and retain the WWE Championship. But I would like Sting to win.
I think you'll lose the United States Championship. I think that's got to happen for the sake of the belt. And then I really don't know for the main event. I think it's the wrong time to have Sting win it. So I could probably see Rollins win it, but get cashed in on and lose it.
I think we'll have interference. I think we might have Triple H involved. I think they're trying to edge towards a Triple H Rollins feud. So that could leave the door open for Sting. I really want Sting to win. I just weigh up a lot of things. I weigh up that he's got a meet and greet in the UK. Is he going to come over here as champion? Would WWE have let that happen? Don't know. It's not a WWE promotional event, so probably no.
But at the same time, the champion doesn't always have to be on TV, as we've seen with Brock Lesnar. True.
I mean, it throws a spanner in the works. Either way, something's going to give, but
I can't see it happening. I think if it does happen and Sting wins the title, I think it'll be a different event where like the focus can be more on Sting and you don't have to worry about Sheamus cashing in.
I think if he does win, it would be an awesome shock. If he did win, like just not, let's say I wasn't a Sting fan, I just, I know Sting's career and stuff, and same with Rollins, I would be shocked, but I would think it's kind of cool that they've gone down that route. So I don't think it damages Seth Rollins in any way, shape or form. I think Rollins can get, and if Rollins moves straight into a program with Triple H, it doesn't, because he's still up at that level. So
yeah, I totally agree with that.
It opens the door for better feuds in the championship picture. We're not just focusing on, guys like Roman Reigns, which is expected that he'll be in the title picture come towards the, the big end of things, WrestleMania time. I imagine Roman Reigns is going to be back in there. So opens the door to like some kind of different feuds. And for me, like I say, Wyatt versus Sting would be a great feud to have. So I'm looking at the other angles of it. So that's where I'm going.
I think that sounds good. I would probably go pretty much the same, then just lose the United States Championship, win the WWE Championship. But I would still say Sheamus cash in and win.
Well, we will wait and see. Be worth a bet, because I don't know what the odds are at the moment, but I don't think they're too high on Sheamus cashing in. So you might fancy a bit of a tipple.
Might have to check that out.
Exactly, man. So, I mean, that kind of brings us to the end of, I think, been a very interesting and fun We Talk this week. So, yeah, guys, let us know by the comment section below what you think. Smack Talks, you got any sort of shameless plugs?
Well, I have a couple of mods videos, like for the Smack Talks channel, so they should be coming out on Sunday. And also, if you've been following Until Dawn on my second channel, then the final part of that will be going up over the weekend, so you can see who actually survives until dawn.
Oh yeah, I started playing that the other night and it just crashed. So I got to start again. Woohoo!
Scary.
Yeah, it was really scary to be honest with you. So yeah, plan to start that again. I won't be recording it. I'll let you just enjoy Smack Talks singing and whatever he's up to on that channel. You know, he likes to sing and share. What was the song you singing?
Well, if people watch it, they can find out.
Oh, nice plug, Smack Talks. Nice plug.
It's worth it.
Like L'Oreal.
Yeah, because I'm worth it.
Oh, right, I see. So yeah, SmackDown's got plenty of plugging going on, and from my side, Saturday night main event, we're kind of moving into Night of Champions. We've only got like two more, well, Night of Champions, and then one more pay per view before the end, and we kind of move into WWE 2K16. So, like, yes, the Universe Mode will continue, but it will take a bit of a different shape when 2K16 kicks in. Storylines will stay the same, but you know, it opens a few more doors with all the new characters that we got, which is pretty damn awesome. So, yeah, make sure you check it out. Make sure you check out main event before Night of Champions, another massive pay-per-view. Hopefully we can smash it more than we did then SummerSlam, because SummerSlam was good. So if we can better that one. Just a quick one before we go. We were going to mention this at the start of the show, but we just kind of talked. WWE 2K16 now kind of 2K Games confirming that there is no 4 horsewomen for the game. What's your view on it? I kind of think it's bad publicity to have just kind of released this as a statement. I think it might have been better to just keep it stum and release the game.
To be honest with you, I think we've already got such an amazing roster and such a huge Divas roster compared to previous years that I think it's good what we've got. Getting the 4 horsewomen in as DLC would have been absolutely amazing, and I think a lot of people did expect it because the Divas Revolution is such a big thing at the moment. But really, if you look at it from 2K's perspective, like, they plan the games like a year in advance, so they'll have already planned out who they'll plan to get in the game. And with the Divas only coming up with the roster in the last 2 months, 3 months, then I think it is like a late period to get them in there. And by then, people will say, you know, get them in as DLC. There's no excuse for it. But at the same time, they've already kind of signed off on the DLC that's planned by that point. So even though Sasha's been scanned and Charlotte's been scanned, they're all done scanned just so they've got them ready for sort of future games should they be included. Because otherwise, it just makes more sense getting them scanned at the time rather than finding out, look, this is the list of people wanting the game. Okay, we're going to have to go out and scan them. It just makes more sense if you've already got them scanned. So I think that's the only reason she was scanned in the first place. And maybe the focus was always to put her in 2K17.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the roster's good enough. I think we've got a big enough roster. Yeah, okay, they could have fitted them in. Maybe they could have got them as DLC. But like you say, a lot of changes to those characters moving up to the main roster. So 2K have got that struggle of, you know, keeping up to date with things. I always say it before, WWE don't really seem to clue them up enough. You know, it's a struggle for 2K to keep up with everything. John Cena retire kind of proves that. So yeah, I just kind of question them releasing the statement. I would have thought that it wasn't worth releasing the statement for this. The game looks good, the content looks good. Just go on a high, keep going. People might say, "Oh, well, you didn't put the 4 horsemen," but tonight releasing that statement only adds to people's complaints. So, yeah, that's my only criticism of it.
Yeah, I kind of get where you come from. I think you can see it 2 ways. I think it's bad to do that in terms of promotion of the game because I think they could have been a lot more secretive about it and made people think, you know, oh, we'll definitely be getting these as DLC. I'll pre-order anyway. But I kind of commend them for being so honest and coming out and saying, look, this is the situation. We haven't got them in the game. And, you know, we want you to know that before you actually go out and buy it because we don't want you to be disappointed. So I kind of commend them for that. It's not something that you would see a lot of companies do. A lot of them would be so focused on the sales that they wouldn't be honest with people and they'd let them think, you know, maybe we'll get them as DLC later down the line.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think you've got to respect them for not, you know, going OTT on it and you know, just kind of making people buy the game and then they're disappointed. You got to respect that. On the other hand, I just think as well that, you know, it's not necessary. They've got a great roster, so there you go. But everyone's, you know, you can't please everybody. That's the one thing. So, yeah. I thought we'd touch on that just before we head off, but anything else left to say, Smack Talks, on this week's Week Talk?
It's been a weird one.
Nice. Okay, cool. So I guess that you are going to catch us later.
I shall catch you later.
Cool. And yeah, guys, get involved. Let us know your predictions for WWE Night of Champions. Let us know what you thought as well of TNA and the Lethal Lockdown match.
And if you watch WCW.
Yeah, well, obviously they all will because they all love WCW. Just the only one needs to be clued up on these things.
Meh.
So yeah. Make sure you do. Make sure you school Smack Talks as well. Tell them to go watch WCW as well. Let us know over the comment section below. And all that's left to be said is please rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Delzinski signing out.
Hi, wrestling fans and gamers. Velvet Sky here, and I just want to say I've been hearing a rumor that Delzinski.com is the best place for video gaming and wrestling content.